everyone, welcome back to today's video. For today, I'm going to show you how to make this super cute and easy Christmas card. And you can do this, you could take this basic card template and turn it into a thank you card, a birthday card. Really, you can make anything possible with this template, which is super awesome. So for today, we're not going to be using a ton of supplies. We're really focusing on the paper, on some designer series paper. So I'm going to be using the Cookie Cutter Christmas stamp set, but I'm only using a greeting from it. So you could use any greeting that you have from any stamp set. That's just the one that I happen to like. I'm going to be using chocolate chip ink to stamp my greeting. Set my card off to the side. I'm going to be using my fine tip glue pen, and what I'm going to use that for is, I don't know if you can see, but these three circles right here actually have a three-dimensional look to them, and that's because I used my fine tip glue pen to give them some dimension, and I'll show you guys how to do that. It is seriously so simple, and it gives a super cute look to your cards. So we're going to be using our fine tip glue pen. I have a piece of real red cardstock, which is cut at 5 inches by 3 1/4. So just a teeny tiny little piece. And then I have just some strips of my Candy Cane Lane Designer Series paper. You can use whatever paper you want. We're just going to use this to make the circles, and for that we're using the Layering Circles framelits, as well as our card base, which is a piece of crumb cake cut at 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so to start off with, you're going to go ahead and take your Designer Series paper and use your circle framelits to cut out the circles. Now I used the second to smallest circle, and I actually already cut mine out just to save us a little bit of time. So this video wasn't terribly long and you didn't have to watch me cut out circles. But I did, for this particular card, I used the second to the smallest size. So here's the smallest one and here's the next smallest one. And I just cut out 6 circles. So the way that I did it was I cut my Designer Series paper into 2-inch strips, and then I just ran it through, and it's super quick and easy. It doesn't take any time at all. And you have double-sided, so you can use one circle, you have 2 different designs. So one little strip, you could do one full card with just one strip of paper. Hopefully that makes sense. But it's super easy to do, and that's how I did that. Again, I didn't want to bore you guys showing you how to cut out circles, so I went ahead and did that part already. So here are my circles. So I have these 6 here. Now what I was showing you guys earlier with the card that we already made is I took my fine tip glue pen and I gave a couple of these a little bit of dimension. So I did it with the gumdrops and with this little candy cane heart, and all I did was, I'm going to show you guys on the little peppermints here, all I did was take my fine tip glue pen, and you can do this with anything. I will say that if you're using it over something that you've stamped, like I'm working on a swap, and I did it on the little stockings. I stamped the stockings. This is part of the Hang Your Stockings kit, or stamp set. And because it's not a it's a water soluble ink essentially, so it does run a little bit, but on your cardstock it shouldn't do that. So all I'm going to do is just take my fine tip glue pen and color in essentially the areas that I want raised. Now this does take a little bit of time to dry, so that is one thing I would suggest if you're going to do this, to do it like a few hours ahead of time and let them sit, because you'll see now it's it looks a little cloudy, but it's actually, it'll dry completely clear, and once it dries it'll give a little bit of dimension. And the cool thing is that you can actually do a few different layers. So you could do 3 or 4 different layers. You just want to make sure that they're dry in between the different layers, but other than that you could keep going, and I mean, you can't go like crazy, but you can keep adding layers and it'll give you that 3-dimensional effect. So it's pretty cool. Again, because it does take some time to dry, I went ahead and I made all 3 of the ones that we'll need. Whoops. all 3 of the ones that we'll need for today, so we don't have to wait. But what I am going to do, grab a baby wipe, and I just like to wipe the tip off, because when you do that, it does, sometimes it does get a little bit, it doesn't get clogged, but it'll, you'll have a little blob on the end. So you just want to do that, and then you want to put your little needle in the cap as soon as you can so that it doesn't get clogged up. So I just want to move this little guy a little further out of the way so I don't stick my arm in him. Okie dokie. And again, we have all 6 of our dots, so it's pretty simple to put together. I'm just going to take my piece of real red cardstock, and I'm going to kind of position these where I want them. Now you can do this however you want. This is just the design that I liked, and I'm using the Candy Cane Lane Designer Series paper, which I think is absolutely adorable for some Christmas cards using this. I think it's so stinking cute. So I'm just going to kind of position these where I want them, and I think that looks good. So I have 3 that I did the, I used the fine tip glue pen so they have some dimension, and I have 3 that don't have any dimension. The 3 that don't have dimension, I'm just going to put them down with a little bit of snail adhesive. They're just little circles, so they don't need a ton of adhesive to stay in place. So I'm just going to get these all placed down really quickly. And my last one. There we go. I don't know why I was having such a hard time with that. And you can really do them however you want. You can space them however you want. This is just kind of what I came up with as far as spacing goes, and I particularly like it. So then the next thing, the other 3, I'm actually going to pop these up on dimensionals just because I do want them to be kind of my focal point, because I added that dimension on the pieces already. They are really the focal point of my card, so I just wanted to pop them up a little more, and it gives it a little bit more than just a flat card, which I particularly like. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time getting the backs off of these dimensionals today, but I am. Okay, come on, you little booger. There we go. Then I'm just going to flip these over and put them on our card. There's one. Here's another one, and the last one. I think the gumdrops is probably my favorite, because when you fill in all of those little gumdrops, they really pop off the card. They're so stinking cute. I absolutely love it. Okay, so then we're just going to take our card base and fold this puppy in half. Okay, I'm going to flip this guy over, run some snail on the back. You don't need a ton. And I'm going to put it up towards the top of the card. I'm centering it left to right, but I'm leaving probably like 1/8 of an inch from the top fold. And that's where I'm placing our little layer here. Then again, I'm going to take this sentiment from the Cookie Cutter Christmas set. It says, warm-hearted greetings for a very Merry Christmas. I think it was just, I thought it was cute. It was thin, so I think it'll go, it goes on here nice. And I'm just going to stamp it on the bottom in the center, or as close to the center as I can get it. And that is our card for today. So it's a super easy technique. Again, you could do it just like this. You could take a different kind of designer series paper. You could take whatever paper you want and do circles. You could do a pattern. You could do it all the same, whatever grading you want. It's so simple and easy. It's a really, really quick, easy card. And I think this would be a really good one to do for like a bunch of Christmas cards. I think this one would be really good. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Super fast, super easy, but absolutely adorable. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you next time. Bye!